Hello, March 22nd of 2022, and still waiting on the nicer days of spring. It's still pretty drab, and most of the snow is, or not most of the snow, but quite a bit of the snow is gone, and figured I'm going to move on to do a little bit on this D6 project. I've started, well, I started last fall, but we're going to do a little bit more work. What I got going on here now is I've got the track frame. I'll just get things in focus here. I got the track frame out here in the open, laid upside down. I got the roller guard removed, and all of the rollers are taken off. I broke off, there's 41 bolts altogether, and I broke off probably a dozen. There's two different types of bolts here. There's grade 8 bolts, fine thread that hold these rollers down to these different sections, and in between are these coarse threaded, I don't know what grade they are, probably a class or a grade 5, and they're here in coarse threaded arrangement in between the rollers to hold that roller guard in place. Most of those are the ones that broke off, and I thought I was going to have a hard time with that, drilling all them holes out and tapping and whatnot, but I realized that in between here, up in the, now we got Luna and the cat, they gotta be stars of the show here. This bar here, and there's a set of 4 of them, 2 on each side. These 2 are the longer ones, and these 2 are a little shorter, but they slide in there, and through each, these are just through holes, they're not threaded. And you just run your bolts in and screw it into this here particular bar, which really took a lot of work out of it, because I could put this bar right in the whole post vise, and if I had, and the broken off parts were up about a ½ inch, so I just heated them up and put a pipe wrench on them and rotated those broken coarse threaded bolts out. Of course, I did not worry about the fine threaded ones, but and then a couple of them there were broke off flush with this bar, of which I just put it in the drill press and drilled out a 3/8 hole and took the torch and just blew it out until until you got close to the threads, and just once they were weakened that way, I just drifted them out with a hammer and punch. Anyway, got them all done, except I got one more. I'm just gonna maybe film taking that one last stud out. So anyway, that's what is all about these here bolts. Now this roller here, right here, is one of the original off of this frame, and it's probably in the best shape, but it's pretty worn out. You can see how high the flange is there. It's worn pretty deep. Worn so deep that the inside flange, this used to be a double flanged roller, the inside flange just disappeared. So that roller is pretty much worn out, not going to use it at all. But I do have a full set, and this is of the old grease style. It has a Zerk, a button head Zerk on it. Takes that double-aught grease. It's very viscous, slow running. It's not really like a grease, but it's a thick oil more or less. I got these, a set of these, 6 of these, and they are oil, set in oil. So they're the newer ones. They're worn as well, but not near as bad as that. See, the flange is not as high. This one is a single flanged roller, and this is the double flanged roller. You can see that they're in pretty good condition, and they are tight, like to move the axle around in them, so they're in really good condition that way. So when I get this track frame. I don't know if we can see that in the frame here. This area right here is broke off. This whole end of the diagonal brace is broke off. I got it tacked up here just temporarily, but I got to take it into a welding shop and they're going to re-weld it. It was broke off and welded before, but I'm sure they did it on the machine, which is pretty hard to do, and of course it broke again. So it's off the machine now, and that's what we're going to do. We're going to take it in the welding shop, get them to weld that solid, and put the rollers and the track guard or the roller guards back on, turn it upside right, and install it back onto the machine and continue on working. We got a lot more work on that machine to do. But anyway, we're going to go over here and see if I can actually film myself doing some extracting this here stud out of this last bar. Hopefully it'll all go good without too much difficulty. I think we're pretty much focused in there. So we'll get our torch set up. Get rid of these glasses here and put on these ones while we're working with the blowtorch. This is the last remaining stud. See, it's sticking up there probably a ½ inch at least, and they come out actually not too bad once we get it all heated up. We'll just try that with the pipe wrench and see if that's going to break loose out of there. It's turning. I think we'll give her a little bit more heat. It is turning, but it's pretty tight. It's giving up quite a resistance, and I don't want to end up twisting it off in there when I already got it turning. So I better take a little more time and heat her up a little bit more. There, quite a bit easier. Quite a bit easier, and I twisted it off. Well, so I think we're going to have to let it cool off there, and I'll drill her out and use the torch and pop her through. This is the only one that I've actually twisted right off. I was afraid of that, but that's what happens. I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of these that I've pulled out, but I guess we just screwed up on that one, so we're gonna go ahead and drill her out and take her out with a torch. Okay, we'll catch up to you later.